All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody. My name is Sydney Finolis. Thank you for joining me here today. And today we're going to go into the introduction of a app or a platform that's called Furnished Finders. I actually like this low key a little bit better than the other ones, and I'll explain to you as we go along why is that. So, before we get started, folks, if you like these videos, if it's useful or whatnot, please make sure to leave a comment below. Go ahead and like the video and stuff, and give me some feedback, man. I'm the man of the people, and I like when the people talk to me and let me know what you want to see so that I can provide the information for you. The whole purpose of this is just to go ahead and cut out that time that you'll be, spending to find this information. I want to go ahead and get it to you right now as we speak. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and take a little look at Furnished Finders. All right. With Furnished Finders, a lot of people don't know about this one right here. This one, monthly furnished rentals for travel nurses and other traveling professionals. So, man, I found out about this a little bit after the fact, right? So I already had property in Airbnb and using Verbal and all that other good stuff. But this right here, this is different. This is really just focused on the professionals. Um the people that usually book my property using this are, travel nurses, someone working on a construction project and which the company wants to have their workers in that city, or people moving into a certain city. I've had people moving into Jacksonville and they wanted the property for a few months and they'll go ahead and rent it through there. One of the main reasons I like this is that, unlike Airbnb and Verbal, Furnish Finder doesn't take a big fee from the people booking. So why is that good? Furnish Finder actually lets me book people outside of the system and they don't take a big percentage. So let's just say, for example, I'm gonna just use an example that happened to me where there was a guest staying at my home for $7,500. That guest had to pay $7,500. 6,500 of those went to me. 1,000 went to the, whether it was Airbnb or whatever. I'm not going to disclose the name right now, but that guest basically, had to give them $1,000, 65 to me. So what with Furnish Finder, I was able to tell the guest, you know what? How about I'll give you a contract. You sign that contract, and instead of $7,500, you pay $7,000. So now 7,000 goes to me, and then instead of that guest paying $7,500, they only paid 7,000. So they saved 500. And in this scenario, I made an extra 500. So it actually works out pretty well. Guest saves money, I make more money. So why not? All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the platform a little bit. Let me just show you. Again, what you're looking at right now is just the general screen. If you go into Furnish Finder is the way that, professionals can go in here and find the property. This is just kind of more of an introduction and all the different things. Tenant screening, we'll get into that. This actually does screenings for you or whatnot. So it's a lot of good stuff here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go straight to the actually move this out of the way for you. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the dashboard. Well, you can see all the other menu items, very similar to what you see for the, Airbnb, Verbal, or whatever it may be. So they're all pretty similar. I'm gonna go to dashboard because that's where pretty much all my information is consolidated when it comes to the rentals. So now you're in the dashboard here. Um, you can see the different menu items from my profile. That was also in here. Tenant lead, the messages, whatever you see here on this side, you can actually see right here in the middle of the dashboards, right? Tenant leads. So the tenant leads, how that work is if there's someone looking for a property and your property actually meets those criterias, that tenant information will show up here, and it's up to you. If you feel like, hey, no one's looking at my property, you can actually be proactive and let people know that your property's there just in case they didn't run into it while they were actually doing their search. Or if you want to, negotiate something just to get the person into the home. So that's actually kind of cool. Messages, these are the messages that comes in from tenants or whatnot. We'll get into some of them a little bit. I'm just kind of going through the list a little bit. Editing your listing, all the different information. We'll probably get more into the editing listing portion of it when we talk about creating listings, because a lot of this stuff is also what you'll see as it when it comes to creating your listings. Okay. Landlord tools, tenant tracking. You can track your tenants and see what's going on there. Free tenant screening. Um, you can actually they have a system that they paid for here in which you can screen your tenants. I didn't mention that in the beginning. When it comes to Furnished Finders, there is a fee. I think the fee is $100 a year that you pay. So it's not like Airbnb or Verbal where you can actually post your property for free. So that's the difference right here. You pay that $100 up front, but they won't take that money when it comes to booking. Whereas the others, they make their money on the booking. So that's where the difference is. And state specific lease. The cool thing is this does provide you with the contracts. So a lot of people they'll be like, "Well, Sid, if I do a contract, how am I supposed to write that up?" This actually provides it to you, so that's very cool, and it's based on whatever state it's in. So that's cool. Um, your online. Oops, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that, folks. Uh, let's just go back here. All right. online online rent payments. So there's different tools here that you can actually use to get your payments. So they do have their built-in system built into the system where you can make payments, or you can do it all different ways. I've done Cash App, I've done Zelle, I've done Apple Pay, I've done people send me checks, I done PayPal. So there's just different ways that you can get the payment to yourself. Again, this system does have one, just depending what how you want to do it or whatever is more convenient for your tenants. It's up to you. My properties, the list of your properties and whatnot. You can see the overview, and then you can add properties. Again, we'll have another video talking about that. Account, some of my favorite properties. So if I had properties that I do like, I can actually keep it here, support, and then log out. So I'll get into more details. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is here that you see here. So let me go ahead and show you tenant leads. Again, like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to tenant leads, based on the criteria of your home, if it's something that matches, it'll have that person there and like, hey, look, this person um, matches your criteria. So from there, I can always go send that person a message, let them know, hey, look, I see that you're interested. Well, in this case, this person actually reached out to me. So you can see here's the person's name, the city that they're from, when they want to move in. So this was a couple of days ago that they wanted to move in, and they wanted to stay until what is that, October 2nd, right? They submitted this on in July, in the morning. They're coming with pets, so they kind of give you a heads up. There's going to be two of them, including the pets, and then they leave their little note behind. Hey, I'm a travel nurse, memorial member, travel nurses. Hey, I love the professionals because they just want to come there, rest, go to work, rest, go to work. Airbnb, sometimes you get the occasional party animal, so that happens. Okay. Um, and then yeah, you can just see all the other information. They have a dog or whatnot. And then what I like to do is I charge for the dogs on a separate platform. Okay. So yeah, that's just someone who's inquiring for the property already with some of your tenant leads. Here's someone else with another one here, 9-1 to 12-1. And this person submitted it a few months ago. And with this person, they actually live in Jacksonville and they're doing some renovations of their home. They tell you to have cats or whatnot. They are also property managers with Furnished Finders. Maybe they're trying to get some brownie points. And then it tells you what their budget is, right? How much they're willing to pay, where they're at. all kinds of little information here. So this is some cool stuff. Help you to get to what you're looking for. All right. All right. So we'll go back here. See what else is on here. All right. Let's go to dashboards. Here you go. All right. On the dashboard, you saw your tenant leads. Here you got your tenant messages. So if someone does have a message, you'll see it come through. I click on that. You can see it. Here it gives you, the same thing you saw a little bit earlier with the names, how many days they're staying, the amount of people, their email, so you could contact them. It tells you what's the best way to contact them by text. Their occupation, they have pets or whatnot. And in this case, I couldn't actually serve the person because unfortunately, those dates were booked. But we have the communication with the customers, or potential customers in this case. And you can see just the different messages from other guests or whatnot. All right, back to our dashboard. Tenant tracking. If there's certain tenants that you've seen and you just want to kind of keep track of them, so you can see who's in there now. You can see who was in your property previously, and you can see what the expenses. Again, I don't typically put the information here. A lot of times when I do bookings on Furnished Finder, I just kind of take everything off the site itself. So there's different ways to organize yourself, but this for me is more of a marketing, finding them, and then from there I'll go off the actual site. Okay. Edit listing. Showed you that earlier. All the different ways you can edit your listings. First, you'll have to pick your property, and once you do that, there's just all different type of information that's you go ahead to update your information. I'll get into this again, like I mentioned before, when I do the creating of a listing. Okay. All right. What else we got here? Updating your calendar. You want to keep your calendar up to date. Let people know when it's available, when dates are booked, stuff like that. So you can go into the different ones and let people know, hey, look, this unit will be available September. So according to this, this home right here in Jacksonville, if you want to get it on Furnished Finder, you're gonna have to wait till September 1st. Okay. All right, let's go to the dashboard. All right. State specific leases, like I mentioned, you're gonna do a lot of these off the account, and you could make yourself a little bit more money, save the customer some money. So just depending on whatever town you're in, you can go ahead and get a generated lease if you have an account here. And then from there, based on whatever the a standard lease look like, it'll have it there. And you just really just go ahead and fill in the blanks with whatever terms you agreed with the tenant, and you can get it electrically signed, like via DocuSign. Like I said, I have my own documents. I have it on like a DocuSign that I'll fill in the blanks with whatever the term conditions are, and then from there they'll go ahead and sign it. I'll sign it. They'll get a copy. I'll get a copy, and we're good to go. Okay. Um, Free tenant scanning. You can go ahead. Like I said, a lot of this stuff is done outside. So, a lot of people kind of apprehensive with that because it's like, oh, who am I letting into the property? Well, here you got the key check, which will go ahead and based on the information that the customer is giving you, you get their credit card, if sorry, their license information or whatnot, and they'll, let you know about their backgrounds, criminal background check, and just little information. And this comes back fairly quickly, as you can see. Custom rental lease created in minutes, right? So you got your scanning, payments, etc. Cutting edge security. intuitive dashboard, easy management. So that's a pretty cool feature that Furnished Finder has, that can make sure you cover all your bases when it comes to that. Again, my properties, just a list of all your properties here, and everything is listed. Oops, sorry. Let me just what to list it. Yeah, right here. You listed, get what your reviews are here. If you want to get rid of them, you can get rid of them, edit, view it. So just kind of quickly, just to go in, you can see if I wanted to view the property, how it looks to the end user. So if someone was to look at my property, they'll see it here. The pictures will scroll through, the type, how many bedrooms, utilities included, etc. The different fees, cleaning fee, you had a pet deposit, and then a refundable deposit just in case, people make a mess of the property, closest hospitals. I like to put that on there, since this is primarily for nurses. I want them to know how far, their job will be from the actual property. Different features that we provide to the folks, accommodations here, price, location. They can actually click on here and see exactly where the location of the property descriptions, other properties that I manage is right here as well. So if you do have a portfolio of properties, it'll be there. And if the people like you just because, hey, I like the host and I'll support the host, and they're in a different town that you actually have property in, they can actually do that right here. Okay. And then, review property, review this property or whatnot, and then read property reviews that people leave behind. So yeah, this is basically the view that people see if they were looking for, a property. And then again, remember with the calendar, it lets you know when it's available or whatnot. You get the property location, lets you know where the property is at in the map relative to everything, and then the availability. You can see in the calendar again in the month of August is pretty much booked until the 1st of September. So it's some good information here that you can get there. All right. And then my account information, you can go ahead and put in your card information if you had any purchases that you need to make or anything like that. My dashboard. All right, and then of course you have your support. You have any issues that you need some support, you can always reach out to the Furnished Finder people there. A lot of it I see it's online. As far as calling, it's not as easy, but they do help. And they help as quickly as possible. So just knowledge based material. If instead of calling, you want to just look it up, you can find some of that over here, and the knowledge based material. All right. And it's a support, a landlord tips. So I got different best practice information you could read up on that'll help you. Again, it's an ebook. It'll just give you the tips that'll help make your home more marketable to folks and desirable or whatnot. So um, pretty much all of them provides these type of literature or resources or whatnot. Online payment, so you can also set it up within here to where you can have payments done online. Like I say, I typically use things like Cash App or whatnot. I'll actually ask the guests what's their preference. You want to try to accommodate them as much as possible, because the happier they are, then you get yourself a repeated customer. All right. Nothing better than a repeated customer. And then those are the same people that also help market it with the word of mouth. So that's basically Furnished Finders, the app there. There is also an application version. Like I said, this is probably, if not my favorite, one of my favorite short-term rental platforms. I hope it helped you. Like I said in the beginning of the video, leave a comment. Let me know if there's something there that you saw that you want more information about. Let me know. I will have other videos breaking it down a bit more, as far as how to create listings, how to actually create your Furnished Finder account, and other pertinent information. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time, and I appreciate the support. And have a good one.